dear students, myself Gangadhar Solanke, and I welcome you all to the MCGM's virtual classroom. Hello my dear students, today's our subject is Environmental Studies Part 2 and the heading of our textbook is How We Came to Be. Now in this textbook, our last chapter was From Shelters to Village Settlements. Now in this textbook, we are studying about the journey of humankind from the beginning towards the settling of life, and in that the last chapter was from shelters to village settlements. In that we talked about shelter, then seasonal camps and village settlement. Now our today's topic is beginning of settled life, how it began and what exactly the man did to get settled. So the points which we are going to cover in this topic are beginning of domestication of animals and agriculture, special skills and various occupations, community life based on mutual cooperation, structure of houses, village settlement, kinship and family. Now, if community life based on mutual cooperation, community life based on mutual cooperation. Now today also we people are living in society with the mutual cooperation. The farmers in the village settlement were now producing surplus food. जितनी जरूरत थी उससे ज्यादा फूड वो प्रोड्यूस कर रहे थे. They needed skilled craftsmen for tasks like making agricultural implements and repairing them. Now, the agriculture became their main occupation and the people were engaged in agricultural activities. So that these farmers, we can say, needed skilled craftsmen. For what? For making agricultural implements and repairing them. So such craftsmen were paid in the form of food grains. क्या दिया जा रहा है उन्हें? Food grains and other articles. अभी फूड ग्रेन्स ही उनके पास थे बाकी लोगों को देने के लिए. जैसे आज हम कुछ भी किसी से लेते हैं तो वी यूज मनी, हम पैसे देते हैं और उसके बदले में हमें जो चाहिए वो लेते हैं. बट एट दैट पीरियड देयर वाज नो करेंसी, ऐसी कोई चीज़ नहीं थी. तो जिसके पास जो है वो चीज़ दे रहा है और उसके बदले में सामने वाले के पास जो है वो ले रहा है. सो फार्मर्स स्टार्टेड गिविंग फूड ग्रेन्स टू द स्किल्ड पर्सन्स जो उनके खेती के रिलेटेड काम कर रहे हैं. द क्राफ्ट्समैन नीडेड टू ऑब्टेन देयर रॉ मटेरियल फ्रॉम लॉन्ग डिस्टेंसेस. The price of this raw material was also paid in the form of food grains or articles, and thus the barter system of buying and selling was established. It is called barter system. इसे barter system कहा जाता था, जिसके पास जो है वो देगा और सामने वाले के पास जो है वो उससे लेना है. Here you can see fish दिया जा रहा है और food grains वापस दिए जा रहे हैं. So ये जो वर्ड है बार्टर सिस्टम, इसे याद रखना है. आज जो हम कुछ भी लेने जाते हैं किसी दुकान पे तो पैसे देते हैं, उस वक्त पैसे नहीं थे. तो क्या दिया जाता था? जिस व्यक्ति के पास जो चीज़ है वो उसके बदले में दी जाती थी और सामने वाले के पास जो है वो उससे ली जाती थी. द प्राइस ऑफ दिस रॉ मटेरियल वॉज ऑल्सो पेड इन द फॉर्म ऑफ फूड ग्रेन्स और अदर आर्टिकल्स, and thus the barter system of buying and selling was established. Now the next point in this, community life based on mutual cooperation. Here you can see making of earthen pots, या फिर यहाँ पे भी दिख रहा है अलग अलग चीज़ें बन रही है, यहाँ पर खेती हो रही है. And if you people observe very carefully, then you can find many domesticated animals, dog, then here hens, horse, here sheep, goat. The barter system also began to be used when there was a need to obtain raw materials, finished objects, and other articles of daily use from other places. The village community made rules for mutual cooperation in order to keep this system of trade and distribution of resources running smoothly. But before that, we'll just understand one thing, that the salt is an essential item today also. It is very important. Most of the village settlements needed to obtain it from far away places. So salt traders also traded articles they received in exchange of salt. The salt trade helped the expansion of trade in the New Stone Age. So, to run this very smoothly, the village community made rules for mutual cooperation. किसी को भी कोई परेशानी नहीं होनी चाहिए, सब ये जो ट्रेड है, व्यवहार है, वो आराम से चले, अच्छे से चले, इसलिए विलेज कम्युनिटी ने कुछ रूल्स बनाए म्यूचुअल कोऑपरेशन के, इन ऑर्डर टू कीप दिस सिस्टम ऑफ ट्रेड एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन रिसोर्सेस रनिंग स्मूथली, ये सब अच्छे से रन हो, इसलिए people responsible for the implementation of these rules became the chiefs of village settlements. Now today also we are having Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha and many urban local government bodies and local government bodies like Panchayat Samiti, Nagar Panchayat, that you people have to study in the next standard. ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग हैं हमारे यहाँ पे जो important होते हैं in our system. Now it is in democracy, we people choose these people, जैसे सरपंच है या फिर कॉरपोरेटर है मुंबई जैसे शहर में, फिर एमएलएज है, वैसे अभी जो सिस्टम है इसका बेस अगर हम ढूंढने जाएंगे, रूट अगर हम ढूंढने जाएंगे, तो ये हमें यहाँ पर मिलता है इन कम्युनिटी लाइफ बेस्ड ऑन म्यूचुअल कोऑपरेशन. पीपल रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ दीज रूल्स, पहले रूल बनाए गए और इन रूल को इम्प्लीमेंट करने का काम जिन लोगों को दिया गया वो लोग बने चीफ ऑफ विलेज सेटलमेंट्स, उनको इंपॉर्टेंस मिलता गया. People responsible for the implementation of these rules became the chiefs of village settlements. The chiefs were also interested with the protection of the village. So their work was not to look after the only implementation of the rules, but to protect the village. This is how the village administrative system came into being. And today also we are having administration in school, in hospital, or in each and every institution there is an administrative system. So it was started here. Evidence of protective walls and moats around the village settlements of the New Stone Age has been found in excavations. These walls were built to protect the village settlements from floods, wild animals, and outsiders who stole the village cattle. Today also there are borders, अलग अलग देश है उनकी अपनी अपनी बॉर्डर है, अलग अलग स्टेट है उनकी अपनी बॉर्डर है, और उन्हें बचाने के लिए मिलिट्री जो हमें दिखाई देती है, हर एक देश की अपनी मिलिट्री है और वो मिलिट्री अपने अपने देश को, अपने अपने बॉर्डर को प्रोटेक्ट करती है ताकि कोई और देश उसमें घुस के उस देश का नुकसान ना करे. यहाँ पर भी ऐसे ही होता था या फिर यहीं से ये स्टार्ट हुआ. Evidence of protective walls and moats around the village settlements of the New Stone Age has been found in excavations, and these walls were built to protect. किस काम के लिए बनी थी? Protection के. To protect the village settlements from floods, not only from floods, wild animals and outsiders who stole the village cattle. Now the next point, structure of houses. The houses at the beginning of the New Stone Age. The houses at the beginning of the New Stone Age were made of wattle and daub. The walls were screens woven from sticks or bamboo. Here you can see. पिक्चर में अगर आप देखेंगे तो easily समझ में आता है. The walls were screens one from sticks or bamboo, plastered with mud or cow dung. Later, the population, here it is in cow dung. Later, the population of the village settlements grew because of food was available in plenty. Food ज़्यादा होने की वजह से population बढ़ता गया. The village settlements became permanent and expanded. The village settlements became permanent due to the availability of food and expanded. Still later, people began to build quadrangular houses of sun-dried bricks. Sun-dried bricks से बनना start हुआ. Today are having cement buildings. Some houses appear to have had more than one room. More than one room, depends on the members in that particular family. The houses were built very close to each other. Very close to each other. Regional differences are seen in the styles of constructing houses depending on the local climate. Now today, if you people go to the Konkan, the structure of the house is different. In Marathwada, it is different. In Mumbai, it is different. एक बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर जो है वो सेम रहेगा, बट डिपेंडिंग ऑन द क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशन ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर एरिया, घरों के आकार और जो छत में यूज किया हुआ जो मटेरियल है उसमें भी फर्क दिखता है. सो regional differences are seen in the styles of constructing houses depending on the local climate. Now the next and the last point of this topic, village settlement, kinship and family. Today we are having number of metropolitan cities in the world, not only in India. पूरी दुनिया में बहुत बड़े बड़े शहर है और वो शहर कैसे बने, कैसे सेटल हुए, वो सब समझने के लिए हमें ये बेस समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है अबाउट द विलेज सेटलमेंट, किनशिप एंड फैमिली. On the screen you can see it appears from the plans of the houses and the village settlements. It appears from the plans of the houses and the village settlements that people staying there belonged to a single clan. वो एक सिंगल क्लैन से आते थे, which means that they were all related to one another. Now today also in a village, एक गांव में जो लोग हैं वो एक दूसरे से related होते हैं. So it appears from the plans of the houses and the village settlements that people staying there belong to a single clan, which means that they were all related to one another, and thus the entire village settlement was an extended family. This is very important to understand. एक गांव जो है वो एक ही एक्सटेंडेड फैमिली था, लेकिन जैसे जैसे मेंबर बढ़ते गए वो धीरे धीरे अलग अलग घरों में रहते गए और फिर पॉपुलेशन इतना बढ़ा कि एक गांव बन गया. So the basic thing here which we have to understand is that the entire village settlement was an extended village family. People living in one house were close relations. People living in one house were close relations, but they were also members of the extended village family. Now here you can see Neolithic age or New Stone age, handicrafts, then loom, housing, village, stamped, storehouse, domesticated, agriculture and burials. This is how the village of the period look like. इस तरह से दिखता था और क्या क्या सिस्टम उसमें होती थी. A dead person was buried either in the house or in the courtyard. Perhaps the idea was that the person's bond with the family should not get cut off even after death. Now today also, again and again I am comparing this with the today's period because it is very important to understand the progress. तब क्या था, कैसे ये शुरू हुआ और आज क्या है, आज हम क्या क्या कर रहे हैं. टुडे also as different religions has their own system of burying. मरने के बाद जो भी होता है वो अलग अलग धर्म की अलग अलग चीज़ें हैं कि किसी को दफनाया जा रहा है, किसी को जलाया जा रहा है या फिर अलग अलग और तरीके हैं. But it was started here. A dead person was buried either in the house or in the house or in the courtyard. Now, what was the sense behind this, or what was the thought behind this? The idea was that the person's bond with the family should not get cut off even after death. डेथ के बाद भी जो फैमिली के साथ बॉन्डिंग है वो टूटनी नहीं चाहिए, या फिर जो फैमिली मेम्बर्स है उसे भूलने नहीं चाहिए. टुडे ऑल्सो हम घर में कोई भी हमारे फैमिली से जाता है तो उनकी फ़ोटो लगाते हैं. अब उस वक्त तो ये सब नहीं था, लेकिन वो घर में ही उसे दफनाते थे या फिर जलाते थे, जो भी उस वक्त की सिस्टम थी. इट वॉज बिकॉज, या फिर जो आइडिया इसके पीछे थी, द पर्सन्स बॉन्ड विद द फैमिली शुड नॉट गेट कट ऑफ इवन आफ्टर डेथ. Families would also bury various articles with the dead person for them to use even after death. It was the thought कि डेथ के बाद भी लाइफ होगी, उन्हें उन चीज़ों की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी. ऐसा सब अलग अलग तरीके से सोचा जाता था. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट families would also bury various articles with the dead person for them to use even after death. So in our today's topic, we people learnt about the domestication of animals, and in that the three important steps: capturing, then taming, and then the obtaining useful materials. Then the next one, agriculture, how it was started and how women played very very important role in sowing the things, or started cultivation. And then the use of animals, how the use of animals increased the agricultural production, and because of that people started living together at one place. And as people started living together at one place, and they were not having any worry about their food, so that they started using their time in experimentation and practicing different skills, which led to community life based on mutual cooperation. And then the structure of house we people talked about, and the last point, how village settlement, kinship, and family structure was that of that period. Now in the next topic of this, we'll talk about settled life and urban civilization. In this topic especially we people learnt about village settlement. In the next one we people will talk about urban civilization. So today we are going to stop here only. Thank you very much.
Please subscribe the channel and press bell icon to get notifications.
So my dear ones, this is all for today. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, take care.